What's up, my poker players? Today we're going to start out with some action from last night and then get into some off-table learning and get back into some action. So let's get going. As you can see on the right table, I have ace-3 raised on the button, and I believe I get 2 folds here. You can see this guy is a very, very tight player. He is a great player to raise with in the button or late in position because he will be folding a ton of hands, and he looks like he plays very tight post flop. So he's only going to be playing good hands. You're going to be able to bet him off quite a bit. If he does bet into you, you know he has something good. And here we have 2 pocket pairs in late position. This is always fun. I have 9s in the cutoff and 6s on the button. And I get re-raised from the button by a relatively good player. You can tell that he's a regular. I've got 2.2 thousand hands on him. He's raising 4.8% of hands, or he's 3-betting 4.8% of hands pre-flop. And then I get 4-bet out of the big blind from a very loose player. But to tell you the truth, I'm more worried about that guy to my left in the button because he's only raising 4.8% of hands, and 83% of the time is going to be a premium hand, meaning queens, kings, aces, or ace-king. So most of the time that's what he has. I think 9s is a pretty easy fold there. On the left table, you can see that it was checked all the way around. I then bet there on the turn. It's an easy fold. One of those guys is going to have part of that. And now we're going to look at a hand where I have ace-king in the cutoff. This is going to be an easy pre-flop raise to 3x with no one in behind me. So no action behind me, and I get a call on the button. This is the same player I just got in a hand with. Pretty fit or fold regular. Flop is queen high, pretty dry. No flush draw. There is a straight draw, not much. I'm going to bet into this guy, assuming he's going to fold, 56% of the hand. Most of the time he's going to miss that flop. He'll probably only play a queen if he does, and then I can get out of the hand, or I could hit an ace or a king on the turn. So he folds, easy pickup. Now I'd like to implement an off-table learning segment. On the screen is a very influential book that I have read many, many times. It is David Sklansky's The Theory of Poker. A professional poker player teaches you how to think like one. Could possibly be the greatest poker book ever written. This book does not focus on many specific occurrences like some of these videos, but rather on general situations. As a poker player who would like to move up in the ranks, you should be spending close to as much time learning off the tables as you should be getting experience on the tables. Read as many poker books as possible, watch as many videos as possible, especially the newest videos, because the game is always evolving and you can learn from the brightest minds that are out there in internet poker and in poker in general. You should and always can be learning and improving your game. I believe that if you are not learning and working on your game, you're actually falling behind the competition, because there are people out there on the tables who you are playing against who are spending an incredible amount of time working on their game. I highly suggest picking up this book, reading it once, trying to implement some of the concepts, reading it again, because you're probably not going to get every concept on the first read. The Theory of Poker by David Sklansky is available on Amazon, as you can see here on the screen. About $24, paperback version, about $20 on Kindle. I will provide a link below in the video description so you can get this book and pick it up for yourself. This book will change the way you play poker, I guarantee it. Also in the video description are links for America's Cardroom, so you can play alongside me, and for Hold'em Manager, which is a must when playing poker online. The next hand we're going to look at, I have jacks in the small blind, and there is a couple folds here, pre-flop. Folds all the way around to me. I'm going to make it 4x. Playing out of the small blind against the big blind, no one's going to give you much respect. You want to raise a little bit bigger, so I bet 4x pre-flop, and I get a call. Flop is awesome. I'm going to bet 2/3 to 3/4 of the pot because he has a 0 on the flop fold, and he raises all in perfect. He did not believe me at all. Boom. Pop my way. And the next hand we're going to look at here, I have 8s out of early position. I raise to 3x. Get a couple folds here to my left. And a call from the big blind. Flop comes out king high, pretty dry flop, but I do see that this guy only folds 32% of hands pre-flop or post-flop. So he's not going to be folding very much. I have showdown value with the 8s, so only 9s or kings are really what I'm worried about, maybe a flush draw, but either way he's not going to be folding, and he's only going to be betting good hands because small bet percentage, and he winds up having 9s, which beat me. So I think I got out of that as cheap as possible, which is exactly what you want to do in that kind of situation with a showdown value hand, for as cheap as possible, because you very well could have the best hand. Thanks for watching, poker players. Remember to hit the subscribe button and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Hope to see you out on the virtual felt soon.